How's it going? Motor City Miner here with another update from the farm. And I am exhausted. Just finished running these 5 10 gauge wires, 10-2 specifically, that go out to each of the rooms down the way. So we can have some 30 amp 240 volt in each of the rooms. So you can kind of see what we got going here. These 5 new ones coming in. Got the 30 amp, 30 amp, 30 amp, 30 amp, and another 30 amp. So we got 5 in total. Plus we have the original 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, sorry. This one actually has nothing in this 20 amp breaker. Some other leftover from prior tenant. But yeah, so we got 6 20 amp circuits. There's 2 in each of the 3 large rooms. So now the large rooms each have 2 20 amp 240 volt circuits and 1 30 amp 240 volt circuit. So 70 amps of 240 volt power in each of the 3 large rooms, which is cool. And then the small room now has 2 30 amp, so 60 amp total 240 volt in the small room. So it's a lot of amps. We got 3 rooms with 70 amps at 240 and 1 room with 60 amps at 240. So we're getting there. You can go check it out. This wire is honestly one of the worst wires I've ever had to deal with. This is no residential wire, that's for sure. Being in a commercial industrial setting, to meet code we had to use the MC cable. So not only is 10-2 cable or wire already obnoxiously stiff, but now with the metal cladding on it, it is even more stiff. So the lines aren't exactly straight, but honestly, I am so exhausted from just trying to manhandle this, but I think I got handled, to be honest. But yeah, you can see that we're in the small room right now. So we got 1 30 amp 240 volt on this wall, another one on this wall. Next step's gonna be to put our openings in the wall. So we're standing on the hot side right now. So that's kind of the next task. So yeah, that's 60 amps at 240 volt in that room, and then these are the 3 larger rooms that we've been in the past. So each of these now have 70 amps at 240 volt available, and then we got the new 30 amp 240 volt on the wall there. And then we've swapped out what were the 240 volt. They're like a NEMA 20 outlet style or something similar. So now we got an L6 up there as well, this time slightly smaller than the L6 is for the 30 amp, but the L6 20 amp plug. And actually just straight up removed that plug there. Now it's just a junction box essentially that brings power to there. And then we have the same on this side. So up high we got 2 20 amp 240 volt L6 plugs. Down low we got the 30 amp 240 volt L6 plug. So that's kind of the same in each room. I don't think there's really much else different. Nope, this room is the same. 20, 20, 30. But the last room, kind of want to show you guys this. So this is, I'm starting to do my wire management and trying to figure out what to do here. So we got, again, 30 amp, 20 amp, and 20 amp 240 volt. I just gotta put covers on all these. But yeah, I started playing with my PDUs. So I don't actually have enough equipment to use 80% of 70 amps in each of these rooms at the moment. So actually right now I'm just gonna be using my new 30 amp 240 volt, which I got a PDU for, and 1 20 amp 240 volt PDU. So that side in each room is not gonna have a hookup right now. but it's there for future use when we grow, because as you can see, I got my shelves pretty set up, so we're gonna have 2 rows of Octominers, maybe some mini Doges or KD Box Pros, I don't know, and then 3 shelves, 4 if you count the top, I guess, for ASIC miners. It's pretty exciting stuff, but yeah, so we got our 20 amp 240 volt here, this guy here. Got some C13 and 19s, or I always get those backward. Maybe these are the 14s and the 20s. You guys know what I mean. You know, male or female end. I can't remember which of those numbers is what. But we got a whole bunch of these on the 20 amp here. So this is going to be largely for the Octominers down low. I like to undervolt all my cards, so can probably get like a lot more units on the 20 amp and save the 30 amp PDU, which is up here. This is from Nerd Gears. But C13 or 14, I can't remember. Again, I should really look that up and memorize that. But these will be for the ASICs, mainly because ASICs take a lot more power, so less being plugged in, obviously. So yeah, that's gonna plug in there. And then our smaller, you can kind of see the difference here. So this is 30 amp, 240 volt, L6, 30 plug. And this guy here is for the smaller PDU, 20 amp, 240 volt, L6, 20 plug. So definitely smaller, but this guy is gonna go way up there. Got a nice length cord that came with it, so excited to. Haven't ever had these trip light PDUs before. Actually, I've never had any PDUs before because I've never had 240 volt. So really excited. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for wire management, is 2 PDUs on the left side there, and then use the rails to kind of bring the power cords to each unit across. So that's kind of thinking. And I guess someday, if we ever have more units, we'll bring another, maybe it'll kind of come out across and hang down from the ceiling, another 20 amp 240 volt PDU on this side. Probably the same one as this one. I really like this trip light unit because it just has a lot of variety. That's my only complaint really about the Nerd Gears one, is it only has the C13 or 14 outlet, whereas the trip light down here has C19 or 20 and C13 and 14. So lots of variety, lots of options. Ironically, the 20 amp has way more outlets, than the 30 amp, even though there's less power available. So I don't think I'd ever get close to maxing it out, but flexibility is nice. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at for now. Like I said, I'm very tired of working with wire for days at this point. But not quite done. We still got to run our Ethernet through the back here in all the rooms, so it's kind of the next task. Someday I hope, to make everything a little more official, nice looking. Like, it'd be nice to have some cable tray for the Ethernet, but for now I think we're just gonna straight mount it on the wall, just like that 10 gauge wire in the armored cable. So that's kind of the plan. So we have tested all the circuits. Everything's looking good. I have them off right now just because I'm still fiddling with things. Have a little bit of wire management to clean up in here. But yeah, it's getting there. And hopefully maybe this weekend we'll be able to power some units up. So that'd be cool. But yeah, so hopefully you found this helpful. This is kind of my first foray into 240 volt. I've done a ton of electrical before, but never 240 volt. So, and this high of amperage. So definitely been a learning experience, mostly for my muscles. But we're getting there. So cool. Until next time.